My favorite part of this car while driving it is the sound. The exhaust tone is not like any other car on the road, and mixed with the supercharged sound when you're under boost, it never gets old. I've had the car for a long time, and I don't think I'll ever get sick of the sound of it. Hi, my name is Chad. I'm from Spokane, Washington. This is my 2003 Mustang Cobra. My interest in cars started definitely from my dad. He was always flipping cars, playing with cars, even at a really young age. I was probably out in the garage. 24 years later, I'm still getting paid to play with cars. It's never stopped, and I don't think it ever will. First car was an 85 Volkswagen Golf, and I had a list of Volkswagens, and then the Volkswagen stuff rolled into Fords, and I've had Mustangs, a bunch of Fox body stuff, Ford trucks, and I've just been playing with them ever since. So I bought this car about 7.5 years ago out of Western Washington. I had always loved these cars. The 2003, 2004 Cobra was always a realistic dream car of mine when they came out. I was just at a point in my life where I was like, I was ready for a new toy, and I went Cobra shopping. It was tough because my budget was limited, but I had certain colors I didn't want, red being one of them. But the car worked in my budget, and now that I have it, I love it. I'm glad I got the red, and it's been an absolute blast from day one. As far as the build and the design path, simple is my thing. The cars stock to me were just awesome to begin with. So anything built off of the stock platform just makes them that much better. Obviously you can see the car still has a stock-ish appearance, but as far as when you park it next to a stock one, then you can start picking everything out. I really didn't have a specific build process in mind. I've just always wanted it to be a good, reliable, fun street car. The car still has AC, power windows. I mean, it's as it left the factory still, as far as that goes. It is lowered quite a bit, but I don't want it to beat me up while I'm driving it. So I still want to be able to pull in out of my driveway and drive over speed bumps and all that kind of stuff. So it's a very practical car still. So I literally pulled it in the garage, put it on jack stands, and I took it apart within an hour of getting it home. I had suspension stuff for it ready to go and just slowly tinkered on it from there. It just has snowballed over the last 7 years to where it's at now. The car itself is actually a high mile car for what most of the Cobras around the area and on the internet and stuff you'll find, because nobody really drives them and really enjoys them. This car actually has 144,000 miles on it, but it's an 03, but it is a 10th anniversary car, which has some parts of it that are different than your standard 03 Cobra. I've had all the suspension out of it. It's got urethane bushings front and rear. All the IRS has been rebuilt. Yes, it is still an IRS car. I can't get over the fact that going solid axle and getting rid of the exhaust, the back of these cars is just timeless, and I think that's one of the best angles of these cars is the rear end. So when I got this car, I took it apart, started doing the suspension stuff just to lower it, make it look more aggressive, and it's come down more since then. And then now it has a McLeod RXT twin disc clutch in it with a 26 spline input shaft upgrade. It's got 373 gears. The motor itself is stock. It's never been opened, stock cams, everything else. The blower stock, it's not ported, but it is pulleyed. I have air intake. It is on E85 now, so I did the fuel system over the winter, and we just built our own fuel system. I didn't buy one, pieced it together. I wish I would have just bought one. It would have been way easier. Got Viking double adjustable rear coilovers in it, trying to get the car to leave the line better at the drag strip. It squatted so hard, it wasn't cutting very good 60-foot time, so I'm trying to get some of that stuff dialed in for the 1 or 2 times a year I do take it to the drag strip, because it is a street car. Wrap the roof, black. Other than that, the rest of it's pretty stock as far as the aesthetics go on the outside. The inside, same way. It's got a couple extra gauges in it, but the cars I thought were awesome, 100% stock, and I didn't want to take away from any of the stuff that Ford did when they put this car together. As far as the motor goes, put head studs in it over the winter when I did fuel system. It's got headers, off-road X-pipe, all the exhaust is all Bassani from the headers back, cat back and everything. Last year and the year prior, it was on pump gas still. The car made 601 horse and 731 foot-pounds of torque at the wheels. And with the 85 now, I was able to bump up the boost a little bit, and we'll see what we can get out of it with the new numbers once we get the tune finished. As far as future plans with the car, the only real big thing I would love to do is put a Whipple on it, but as of right now, it's a street car, and if I can get a decent power number out of it, making more power is going to be even harder to use on the street. So I more or less want the Whipple just for the efficiency, because the Eatons aren't very efficient, but at the same time, they look awesome. You can't just pop the hood and not love the look of a big Whipple sitting on the motor. This one is really, it's 20 years old now, which is hard to believe, but I'm still driving it. I don't care. I'm gonna enjoy it. I bought it to enjoy. I'll pass this car down to my son, and then we'll go from there. As far as the cars, for me, isn't a priority. You know, it comes probably third, fourth, or fifth down the line from, you know, my family and my house and work and stuff. You gotta have work and a good family to be able to do the car hobby. So you gotta put your priorities in check and go from there.